we are back. Namaste, my friends. We only have so much daylight. The day has been going wild for your boy. I've been working with my editors, man. I love it. We have a newfound appreciation for life. We're going out, we're adventuring, we're traveling. We're learning and we're growing. That being said, today's video, we're going to be talking about attachments and why you have to let go of things if you were to ever receive more blessings or abundance or good vibes or positivity, whatever word you want to use for it. You're gonna have to let go of the old to be able to accept the new, because there's no way for you to actually accept the new while holding on to the old. When you're changing your life, and this is why I make these videos, man, I love sending these to developing young minds that are cultivating an existence for themselves. Remember, what I'm doing is just opening up the world of possibility to you, and it's always going to be up for you to take it and go with it or to follow something else. And remember, shout out to my boy Dan, because we had a conversation yesterday. We talked about free will and so many other amazing, fascinating things. But so we don't go off topic and go all over the place, I will simply say, don't stay concrete in anything that you believe in, period. It's okay to question everything, and it's okay to find a newfound knowledge or have an epiphany and say, wow, is this how the world works? It's okay to have this and even follow this, but then when something else comes across to say, maybe I should open up my mind more, maybe there's more to it, right? Nothing is ever really concrete. And the more you know, the more you realize you know nothing. And remember, my philosophy, to understand is to know. So we're always going to be focusing on understanding. If somebody comes across with something, even if it doesn't seem right, like determinism, keep an open mind into understanding what it is that drives the people that believe in such things. And this goes for everything. And I only use determinism because Dan thinks determinism is boring and lazy, and he's gonna have a shirt about it and it's gonna be awesome. And a lot of people aren't gonna understand it, except for the very few. But attachments, being attached to anything in this world, can lead you to suffering, right? Life in itself is suffering. So we try and find bonds, we find attachments to try and make it more easy, and that's fine, right? To find a friend or find a relationship or find a group or find a collective, to find these things and to say, I would like to be a part of this, that is totally fine. When these things are suiting a need, go for this, right? Find a group that aligns with whatever your values are and then follow this. But always keep an open mind to understand that whatever it is that you fell in love with, or something that you like or something that you're following, it might be suiting you at the time, but you are going to grow. You are going to change, and maybe you find a neural pathway that says, maybe I don't agree with this. Maybe it's time to find something else. So in the scientific community, we call these paradigms, right? So we'll have people at the top of a scientific method. Let's say biology. We have some of the top biology professors in the world, and then you have every other scientist, and they just go with whatever the people at the top say. And right, they got to the top for a reason, right? They all talked to each other and they came up with a vast web of knowledge. But then you have an outlier, you have an outsider, you have a heretic, you have somebody that comes in that isn't already in this web, but they're interested, but they see something at the very bottom and they question this and they say, this is interesting, but this part doesn't look right. And of course, the people at the top that built themselves off of this, they have a lot of ego and they have a lot of arrogance around whatever the topic is, because they are the expert. They spent 20 years, they spent 30 years, which eventually has closed their mind off to the possibility that, hey, maybe they made a mistake. Or, hey, maybe due to you've done it for 30 years, maybe 30 years ago, yes, this was correct, but as time has changed, as technology has evolved, as our species has developed and changed as well, maybe this one just ain't it. And it's okay to look back at it, right? If you're truly open-minded, you're okay with people questioning whatever it is that you believe or question whatever you've done to come up with this. And all you have to do for a rebuttal is to say, well, here's the research that I've done. And if you need to do further testing because there's a new technology, Well, you should definitely do that. But as human beings, we do have pride, we do have ego, we do have arrogance. That is part of us. This is part of being a human being. All of us fall into this, me included. All of us, we have something that makes us want to stand on a certain belief or a certain paradigm and say, this is law, this is fact, this is what I believe, and it's congruent, and you cannot change my mind. Nobody's going to try and change your mind. And this is why a lot of things in life advance when people finally die, which is wild, right? We have to wait for somebody to die for a new thing to come and make things better. But the thing is, they did that as well, because these people at the top, they weren't always at the top. And maybe the thing that you're questioning is something that they helped develop, right? So they helped develop this, and it might not be congruent with now. The heretic is saying, hey, what you did a long time ago, great, but there's a part of this that's not adding up. So we should develop this and we should update this. But the people at the top, they're at the top, right? So we have to wait for them to expire for new scientific methods or new understandings of the word or new perceptions of whatever the baseline conversation is to develop, because the people at the top are so attached to the work that they have created. And this is just a small example, even though it is a very large example, because people legitimately are holding the keys to progress behind ego, behind arrogance, behind attachment. And this goes for everything in life. There are going to be people that are attached to everything. And you, my friends, we, me included, we all have to realize there is nothing new underneath the sun. And if we are to further advancement in whatever it is in humanity, we need to be able to let go of these attachments. Maybe you got in a relationship with somebody when you were lost or when you were down or you were defeated, and they made you feel like you were amazing, you were everything. Like they revolved around you. And then eventually it changed. Maybe it didn't work out. Maybe it ended badly. For some people, maybe it has ended badly, right? And I'm sending this to my friends. So you know who you are, my bright, beautiful friend. You know who you are. And you know what you have to do. It's the hard part in doing it, because it's not easy to let go of attachments. It's not easy to say, what happened was amazing, but now it's time to move on. But if you are to grow, if you are to become more, if you are to understand what it is to be in your being, you need to let go of attachments. You need to let go of attachments. Not just for the other people's sake, not just for technology, not for just the advancement of a scientific method, but you need to let go of attachments for your own personal well-being. All of us have to be able to say, it was amazing while it was here, I appreciated it, but now I must let it go, right? There's a saying that's been around for a long time, she's not your girlfriend, it was just your turn. And that goes for everything. It was always your turn. You could have been married to somebody for 50 years, and then eventually you guys go apart. That doesn't mean those 50 years were a waste. And same thing, if you got with somebody and it lasted for a week, that was a week. That doesn't mean you just throw it away, because you were able to grow and develop in that time. It doesn't matter how long it was. It was saying, hey, we got together, we grew together, now we're going apart. That's okay, we can still be friends though. And this goes for everything when it comes to also the scientific method. I don't agree with this. I think this part is not really working. The person at the top, no, I did this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's fine. You can still do your own thing. You can still question it, and you can still find people to try and cultivate a new example. And if it works better than the old, even people at the top, they might look at that and say, okay, yeah, it's time to go over there. And there's gonna be one, maybe two people that do have that super ego, that super arrogance, that will stand on it, and they're willing to shout to the high heavens that they're right and everybody else is wrong. And we all fall into it, all of us. And that's why I'm making this video, so we can remember, so we can all remember and realize that it's okay to just let it go. It's not that deep. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed today's lesson. It's your boy Kunshan, giving you guys some positivity, enlightenment, and wisdom. It's okay to be a skeptic too, right? To have an open mind is to try and understand. To understand is to know. To know is to no longer understand. Because if you know something or you think you know something, well, what's keeping your mind open to learning more about it? Keep an open mind. So thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button if you did enjoy today's lesson. Subscribe if you are new. Welcome. We have more videos like these, but I'm also moving in 3 days. I'm going to be traveling all over the world, but I will be making these one-on-one videos semi-frequently, like during the adventure, to reflect as well, because I am growing as well. Like, this is just part of my being. This isn't the end, right? This is, if anything, this is the beginning of the new life, which I had to let go of the old life, which was very fun. It was very entertaining, but it also wasn't suiting who I am now, which is why I let go of that. Like, sure, I might dip into it here and now and then, just like it's okay to go out to a party here and now and then and socialize. Keep an open mind. I'll see you guys on the next one, man. Peace.